Welcome back to another episode.
It's a dick in a box.
Because, wow, I was singing that earlier. You're going to use that as the intro. Okay.
That's right. I don't want to get copyrighted. It's a dick in a box. Even though none of us want dicks in any boxes around here.
That's right.
And I don't want to put mine in I don't want to put mine in a box because sometimes they have sharp edges, and then you could maybe have bleeding dick, and I don't want that. Because if you've ever had your dick, never mind.
No, continue. If you're
like if you're shaving, since we had to hear about some other people shaving their parts, if you nick it, man, it just won't stop. It's just like trickle, trickle, trickle. You're like, well, I mean, it's a blood organ, so it's like I get it, but I mean, sorry. So welcome back.
The intern's like.
It's not like I'm. Well, no. Here, I'll show you a picture. Let me look at this.
I don't want to see it.
Does seeing a picture lose your gold star status?
No, you are so obsessed with the gold star status. I love it.
I am.
I love it. And every time you ask, does that make your gold star status? I'm like, it does not, Brian.
Okay.
Nothing you say makes me lose my gold star status.
Fine.
I would have to sleep with a man.
Oh.
Yes. I'd have to sleep with a man.
So if you sleep next to a man, that removes...
No. When I say sleep, I mean have intercourse.
Oh.
And not me giving it to him. Yeah. It would have to be the other way around.
No pegging around.
Right.
Just...
Not what...
He would have to take
not what you're into.
He would have to take his penis and put it into your vagina, and then...
Wow, Brian, yes. Yeah, my wife's right there. Go ahead, wife. Tell him.
But it'd be like soaking. You wouldn't move.
Hell no. I'm not... No.
Okay, so for the people listening, we're sorry about that.
Oh my gosh, we just covered like how many episodes in the past have we talked about every single topic we've talked about. Welcome back. What a great welcome. Brian would like to give a PSA for the month.
Oh, yeah, I would like to say, since it's June, not only is it my birthday month, but I would like to celebrate because you know how important this month is, the month of June.
It is very important.
It's very important. Everybody knows it. You get to see it everywhere. So I'd like to say happy Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes.
To all of us, especially to us guys who have a lot of things that we don't get to really express and explore because, well, we're not allowed to in a lot of ways. And we talked about we talked about this one June. Mm-hmm. We talked about it, but instead of talking about the other crap that June is. Hey, you agree with me.
I know.
You agree with me.
But we have a diverse audience. And
do we?
Yes, we do. So, but yes, I agree. I think the whole men's mental health awareness is something that should be pushed for because of societal norms and stuff like that.
Yeah, as a guy, it's kind of hard. And I had a few takeaways. Like I said, I was looking up just mental health stats for men.
Yeah, I'd like to hear it.
And it says approximately, it's like I can speak, and I'm a budding actor. Come on now. 1 in 5 adult men in the United States experience a mental illness each year, encompassing a wide range of conditions from depression to anxiety. 1 in 5. That's crazy. Are we going good?
1 in 5. Yeah, we are going well.
Yeah, make sure the video's
I just wanted to show everyone my beautiful face.
Oh. Let's see. Men account for approximately 79% of all the suicide deaths in the United States, which makes it a critical
75%?
79%.
79%
of suicides are men. Which, to me, I guess kind of makes sense in my life. Unfortunately, I've known quite a few people that have taken their own lives, and while there are a few that were women, a couple that were close.
Yeah.
I've known or heard of a lot more men, or especially teen boys, and I know that it escalated really in the COVID years as far as the suicide rates. It shot up like 300%.
Yes.
I also know that a lot of the targets of like the 764 groups and a lot of these internet bully groups are for boys and are to bully them, to get them to harm, hurt, or kill themselves. So suicide is and I get it, because a guy, you're under so much pressure a lot of times to be right, to be strong, to, it's still looked down upon a lot of times as a guy to admit depression, admit anxiety. So you're always wrestling with it. And for a lot of guys, especially in the traditional households, which encompasses the majority of households out there, the man is usually the one out there working, sometimes 2 jobs. The woman's place is more the nurturer, the caregiver, So the guys out there kind of trying to keep things together, and sometimes it's hard to do. And they are in a lot of the more high stress jobs, the more dangerous jobs. They're the soldiers, the military, the first, the police officers and stuff like that carry a lot of PTSD with them. So I think there's a lot more men out there with carrying PTSD because of just the natural way in which men are out there. I'm not saying that they're better. I'm not saying because men and women have different roles in life, but because men take on more of the leader and leading responsibility, sometimes that gets more hard, anxiety riddled, and crushing, and sometimes they give into I think they're more prone to alcoholism. And for the 79%, I was like, wow, that's actually a big number. And it said men often delay seeking treatment for mental health symptoms for an average of 11 years after onset, which can lead to more severe outcomes. So men aren't even going.
I believe, yeah, absolutely.
Look at me. How long have I don't even have a doctor, and it wasn't until I something's seriously wrong.
Yeah,
for me to figure. I mean, and you having that background, so I'm sure you have some insight into that.
Well, I have to say, the day that you told me I went to a doctor, I was shook. I was shocked and shook. No, because it's true. That is very true, because men, especially me being Latina, and it's very traditional. So my mom still, even though she's, I would say, in today's time, in today's societal norms, she understands that the traditional aspect is still so ingrained, because she says the man has to go and provide, and then the wife comes, needs to help out and stuff like that.
Yeah, takes care of the house.
Yeah, so there's very traditional mindsets in all sorts of cultures and families, but it's very true, because my dad was an alcoholic, and anytime there's stress, all the time, drinking, all the time, and the seeking of help, even to go to the doctor if you hurt your back working, it was no, I'll just
pop my damn groin. I popped my groin. I'm pretty sure I tore it.
Yeah.
I didn't see one doctor.
I remember I was like, Brian, you need to go to the doctor. And you're like, no, I'm good.
I couldn't pull my legs apart. That's how much. Yeah.
And you still showed up to work, and I was like, and you're standing all day. I was like, Brian, you need to be at home icing, or heat, ice. Because
we have that mentality, man. I can't. Yeah. I need to be out there. I need to be doing my job, and especially as you go back, like I said, men my age, the baby boomer generation, the Gen X generation, and into the millennial a little bit. We are just ingrained into us to just you have to suck it up. You have to deal with it. You have to get out there. There's people depending on you. Shut up. Stop whining.
Yeah.
Get your stuff done, because that's just the mentality a lot of us have.
It is, and I would think those numbers will change based off of the younger generations. I mean, actually, I don't know. That's very confusing, because this younger generation is more about feelings, so I would think they would seek help.
I was thinking that.
And they're, they want the pills to feel better.
I was thinking that on the way in.
But the suicide rates is still high.
Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way in. Is the one thing I'll give, well, because it's duality to me, because the one thing I'll give to the, as I call them, the under 30s, is they are confused as hell, because they don't know who they're, what they are, because of all the different labels, genders, sexualities, because it's, and all the identity politics that's thrown out. There's so many ways in which they feel like they have to be progressive, so they have to back this and that. But they are more open and attuned to their feelings, even though they're detached because of social media, video games. We're always playing against people, so they're detached from society. They're disconnected. They're not having children. They're not getting married. They're not finding a sense of purpose. But at the same time, the young, men are being more, they're allowed and accepted to be more open with their feelings, because, and I hate to say it this way, but I think, as we've talked about many times, it's the more feminine culture that is put down upon, to where it's okay to be, not okay, but, feelings are, and also I've found that so many of them are embracing and almost celebrating having issues, to where they are looking, they have depression and anxiety, but like I've said, we've talked about a lot of times, people have these badge of honors to have things. Yeah. So they're recognizing it, and they have it.
Not in the right way, though.
And they're getting medication, which again then causes a whole new set of problems. Yeah. So I agree, and I see both sides of it, because yes, I think as we go forward, there'll be 20 years from now, these numbers might be different to where it says 60% of men with mental health needs do not seek treatment. That'll probably drop to 30 or 40%.
Yeah. I can see that.
But not necessarily because they're necessarily helping or getting treatment, but because they're just like, oh, I should go see a doc. So it's weird for me.
Because they say, I'm going to go see a doctor.
And because they're so confused and so torn and twisted between all the ideologies out there, again, that they're not really knowing and focusing on who or what they are. So it's... I was thinking that on the drive. I was like, which way is the way? Because there's really no right way. I think just in general, the right way needs to be that all of us, and since we're talking about men or boys or general, there needs to be a sentiment of it's okay if you're going through something. It's okay if something brings you down. It's okay if you struggle. It's okay if you have anxiety. It's okay if you feel like you don't belong anywhere. It's okay to express that. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you. Yeah. It actually, in some way, makes you stronger for you to identify that, recognize that, and figure out how to move forward from that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what this month, which is buried within the other celebration of this month, which is why I wish they could have their separate entities. So, because I think the mental health awareness gets just absolutely buried in all the rainbows that go on this month. And I'm not saying it's not important to celebrate that, even though I've always been torn with celebrating just who you are. It's like, if you're pride, that means you know who you are, so you should just be okay and be happy and just live your life. Where people, I think, that need more help or attention aren't the people who know to be celebrated, but the people who are confused and don't know, that need to be pulled up and taught who they are, so then they can join in the celebration no matter which way it is that they go. Because I've dealt with so much, and I Dad's been gone 8.5 years. I still have not taken the time to grieve. Yeah. I've been able to, because I can't. I need to stay on point. I need to stay on top of things. I can't let myself be vulnerable. Like with finding someone, I can't allow that to happen. I can't be vulnerable. I can't get myself in, because I can't. I have to be taking care of things. So that's why I think I went through my issue with the anxiety just taking over, because it just got overwhelmed and I wasn't able to do it, because at some point you just can't, your system and your brain and your body can't handle it anymore. And we need to have a preaching and sentiment out there that it's okay. You can come forward.
Your body will definitely let you know.
It did.
Because I battle that every single day. I was thinking, it's so funny because I was thinking about that today, and I was like, why do I feel like a slug? But my mind is like going like warp speed. Yeah. And your body will totally tell you. Like that's why when you were having like those symptoms and stuff that you were like, okay, I think I need to see a doctor. It's because of years and years. Because the heart couldn't. It affects you physically. High blood pressure, the panic attacks. I've always said this. The mental health aspect of things always seems to be used as, like how you say, a badge of honor, but it's not done correctly, because there is focus on mental health, but it's not the right focus to seek help. It's more to validate people, and it's like, that's not what mental health is about. You need to help people, not validate and continue with something that is unhealthy, because now we're running into the issue, which we've talked about with other topics, that these therapists, psychiatrists are now going into ideologies that are not, how do I say it? Like, they're not ethical. And they're just going based off a political agenda. And that should not play in any part. Not in therapy. When it comes to therapy, mental health. But it's getting harder. Every day it's getting harder. I think mental health is something they just use it as like a power phrase. Mental health. Have a mental health day, but they don't take it seriously. Yeah. They're just like throwing it out there. They look at that as just a way to just have a day off. It's not even about their mental health. But like, have you ever gone to work and realized that you're not there? Yes. You're on autopilot. You're like, don't even know, like that. That's when you need a mental health day, or like, grieving, helping a loved one that needs to be helped physically, mentally, emotionally. I mean, that stuff starts adding up. Even though you feel okay, that's when your body starts telling you, like, Why can't I move as quick as it? Why does it hurt when I sit down and stand up? And I feel, and I'm constantly going, like people don't realize when you sigh a lot, that's a sign something's up.
Yeah,
what's going
true.
on?
That's true.
So it's not talked about enough. Instead, they talk about certain aspects of things and use it, I'm going to say, as propaganda. Because if there really was the whole mental health is important, we would not have the issues we have today with people. There would be less anxiety. There would be less depression. Social media would be handled differently. The whole pharmaceutical thing would be handled differently. We all know that.
Yeah.
But it's not. Unfortunately, mental health is just another way of corporations to make money.
Pretty much.
That's sad. It's sad.
Pretty much.
Because if we really thought about it, you would implement in schools, and I've always loved this idea, especially with how parents are nowadays, because everyone has problems. But parenting is something that's very, it's so different now. And I applaud the parents that actually give the kids the time to express themselves, or they see they're like building up and they're like, go ahead, no, let's talk it out, or like, let's go work out, let's go run and let out that energy, because as a child, if you contain that into adulthood, you're going to blow up.
You're done. Yeah.
That's why you have all these issues, anxiety, mental health, you have high blood pressure,
that's why
kidney failure, all this
these
stuff.
young kids are just sitting at home on their stream accounts, or Xbox or PS5s. And then what are they doing in those chat lobbies and those games? Yeah. It's so toxic.
Yeah, they're getting groomed.
There's bullying. Well, we just take out that for just a moment, the Roblox, the grooming. But just in terms of you get so detached from how you treat people in reality in the gaming world, in the chat world, because you're using language you wouldn't use face to face. You're using threats you wouldn't use in the real world. You're picking on others, you're bullying people, and you're sitting home. You have these boys sitting home, the ones that aren't as good at the games and they get picked on. Now they're sitting in a house and they're sitting in a room by themselves, and now they've been bullied, and now they're even more alone.
Yeah.
And then they get on their phone and they scroll and they see their friends out having fun, and it, like I said, it attaches you even more. And again, as a boy, or you're just not. You're always, at least my growing up, and I didn't push it too much because my childhood was fine. But you're told that just stop it, just get over it.
Suck it up.
Just just get over it. Boys will be boys.
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah. And that these are little subtle shifts and changes that we need to, that the awareness months need to bring, that we need to learn. And this is why I wish we could have government officials, because we care so much what they say, or celebrities, since we care so much what they say, getting on their platforms to say we need to take care of our mental health. We need to take care of each other, and just look in the camera and say, if you're a man out there, it's not weakness. You can come forward. We will talk it through. We will help whatever it is that you're struggling with, because again, the pressure is especially a middle-aged or older guy to, people see me, hey, how you doing? I could never express to the general people I'm around, like in volleyball, work, wherever, the battles, especially that I had. Even then, I was just like, I had a battle with anxiety. They're like, oh, are you okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I couldn't be specific of what was going on, and how it was really bad to where I just did not want to see people, did not want to go. I did not want to. Everything was triggering, like just, and seeing posts and seeing people with posting pictures of their families or kids, and it's like these things that I'm not going to experience in life, or where we're making it harder and harder and harder. And you feel like there's nowhere to turn, because you just don't feel like you should be, because that's not what men do.
Yeah.
So that's
horrible.
That's my perspective of it. That's why the difference between the young kids today are, they're just thrown in therapy for every reason. Again, it's not always for the right reason, and it's not to actually help them.
And I don't trust therapists.
So it's like, yes, they will grow up to be more cognizant of their feelings and be able to express them, even if it's they're constantly telling you a laundry list of the problems they have.
Right.
And they feel like that's their badge of honor. It's weird how it went from you're not supposed to express yourself, never be depressed, to depression is your badge of honor. It's weird how that has happened from just basically the millennials to now. Because I think it started shifting the turn of the century, and with all the stuff we talk about as far as all the demasculation and all the, I think there's a factor to it as to why it's easier now. Is again, it's that moving away from wanting boys and guys to be more but it didn't touch your feelings. There's such a gentle, delicate balance between being in touch with your feelings and allowing emotions to come out and losing your masculinity.
There is, but our society doesn't show the difference. They go from one extreme to the next.
It's either one or the other.
It's never like happy medium.
And everything in life we know is a balance, and the balance is something we've completely lost.
Yes.
In terms of that, but I just wanted to, I guess, take the first quarter of the episode to be like, this month is important because
we've always been big on it.
And we, when it comes to like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we celebrate that, and it's everywhere because that's vitally important to watch out for our mothers and our women, and to screen and to test to make sure, because that's something that's important. But this is the side, prostate cancer for men, whatever, the physical things. Mm-hmm. But this is important because, again, we're losing a lot of fathers and brothers and sons to suicide and to drugs because, and I didn't realize, I saw an article that it was like 90%, 89 or 90% of men, like for schizophrenia, are men.
Really?
And I was like, well, that can't be true. But it's like men are getting these personality dissociative disorders and stuff like that because we're holding and breaking, and it's just, I mean, there's something to be said as far as people who are just prone to that and have that, but there's a lot of personality disorders that come up later in life. Plus, all serial killers have been men, so that's a big deal. I mean, not most of them. I shouldn't say all, because you women get to have a few of those, but
wow. You women.
And it's always hard because, like I said...
women, right.
Like, when I talk about this, again, it's... Because I think back real quick. It's the roles that we play. Mm-hmm. But in a world today where we're not supposed to have gender roles, and they're supposed to... Not only not supposed to have them, but they better swap. The women need to be the one in control, and the men just sit back. So they're losing their gender role, their natural, like, just DNA encoded role, to be the provider, to be the caregiver, to be the rock. Mm-hmm. And that's being taken now because women are being told, well, you be the man, you wear the pants in the family, you go out and work, you take care of all this stuff, you work late, you don't come home, because, and then the guy is just, so it's just a whirlwind of societal changes that are...
It is meant to create confusion and cause all these issues because... In the end, these corporations, big pharma, they all benefit from it. Society needs to be at chaos because corporations bank on it.
It's hard to see because it's always been tough as a guy to express or show any like I said, weakness. It just came out of my mouth because that's not how it feels as a guy to say to sit down and, like, especially if you're with guy friends, like. It's easier for a guy to tell your female friends because they're like, oh, that's touching, that's sweet. If you were to go out with your guy friend to a sports bar, I'm like, dude, I'm really battling depression. I can't, they'd be like, dude, here, get another beer. Take your tampon out. Me. Take your tampon out and let's go. God forbid if you ever cry in front of anyone, that's like just, it's death to your man card. It's just taken away.
There is one of our friends recently, her dog passed, and it was her fiance's dog, and he called his bro, and his bro immediately was like, I'll be there, and they cried together, and I was like really happy to hear that because, like you said, men do not support each other when it comes to emotions. Like
there's no hugs, there's no...
they were like hugging it out, and they cried together, digging the grave for the dog and stuff like that. And that's a really good rare. Supportive friend. Yeah. And so that's why they're younger than me and Katie, and so it's like it's really good to hear that because I know in my household we internalize everything.
Mine too.
We I don't like when I get really angry, I cry. Mm-hmm. And I don't like that because I'm not crying because I'm sad. I'm crying for some reason. My body functions to where I'm crying because I'm so angry. Mm-hmm. But that internalizing things like that can really affect you later on in life. In my mid-30s, I had breakdowns. In my 20s, I started to get panic attacks and stuff like that. So your body, like I say, your body tells you that it's very important. And we have always said mental health is important, but not how they present it in today's world, in society, because they just profit off of it. Instead of genuinely helping people.
Yes.
Because I have been in therapy where I've said this is seen as negative, or like when you cry it's seen as weak, and my therapist has said that's not weakness, it's an emotion, you're allowed to feel. And so like it's taken time where I'm like, even people are like, well, you shouldn't say that, but I'm allowed to feel how I feel.
Yeah.
And it took time for me to say that. And I think men definitely, I don't think I've ever heard a man say I'm allowed to feel this way. You know, because they'll never say the word feel.
They'll say I'm allowed to be pissed off, or I'm allowed to be angry, but they'll never say I'm allowed to feel. I'm allowed to.
Exactly.
I'm not allowed to cry, and that stuff that like the internalizing.
Sorry, this made me sad.
The internalizing, that was me because my dad had so much issues. I don't even think I heard him say, you know, not because I know he didn't have love for me, but say the words to like much later in life, like 50s.
Yeah.
So it's like that's something that just wasn't said back and forth. That's another reason why I think relationship wise I always stayed clear. Yeah. Because that's been a barrier as far as that meeting someone to open up that side was always too terrifying. I always said, people like, you gotta put yourself out there, but it doesn't work. It's like I've never been afraid of it not working. If it falls apart, it falls apart. I'll be frustrated, I'll be pissed, I'll get upset, and I'll move on. I've always been terrified of it working. I've always been terrified of finding love and being like so overwhelmed by it that I don't know how to handle myself. I'm always afraid and terrified of the good, whether it's meeting friends or being around people, like all these new people we've met. I don't dare try to reach out or get contact information or say let's do something, because what if I like and enjoy their company? That sounds so weird to say, but that's kind of from, like I said, from my world and generation back. We're just so tuned in, and maybe it's me, because it's obviously I've known people that have no problem opening up and sharing, but I think that's just to know that, just I guess to express for one episode that there's a lot of people out there that do struggle in it, and we need to make sure that
it's okay to struggle and seek help.
And like we've said that before. I said it long ago. It's like I've always said, take a moment to go on your text threads on your phone, scroll down ways and see someone you haven't. If it said 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and text that person, just be like, hey, what's up? I haven't heard from you in a while. Everything good?
It could change
someone's life. You never know. Even if they say, yeah, I'm good to hear from you, and that's it. Yeah. They could just be like, holy crap.
I was having a bad day, but he reached out.
Somebody thought about me for a moment.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's like, so that's my sad and sappy part of the...
It's not sad and sappy. It's a good PSA, because, this is such a light topic, but then it's emphasized in the wrong ways in our society. So thank you for your PSA and bringing that up.
You're welcome.
It's important.
It is important.
It is very important.
It's too late for me, but make sure everybody else...
It's not... Now I'm going to get on Brian. It's never too late, Brian. It's never too late. You can always go to therapy if you want to just shout.
You make me want...
That's why I went to therapy, because I was ready to blow up on everyone.
I'm so weird, though, because even my mom, when she was doing hers, she's telling me stuff. It's like, I know if I go into therapy, because I was like you, I was so into psychology. Yeah. I'd probably like say something like, but I know that it means this, and I know that it says this, and I know you're going to tell me this, and I know...
But that's you working out your process.
So I'm just eliminating the middleman and just doing it myself.
No, I did the same when I went to therapy. Like, I would say, and she'd be like, that's really good insight. Now build up on that. Build off of that. And so sometimes you have to just keep talking. Because I'm very in my head.
You are, yeah.
Constantly in my head. My head is nonstop. My brain goes 0 to 5,000 every day. And so if I start talking about it, you can feel for me, and I would hope everyone else that feels like this too, when you talk about something that you've been thinking up here, or you have here in your chest, the weight of the world, or on your shoulder, when you start talking about it and then you keep building off of it and continue to discuss, and you're letting all that stuff out of your body, because your body holds on to all these emotions and trauma, and so it's good to let that out. And yes, there were plenty of times where I would laugh, because my therapist would be like, that's really good insight. Yes, you're right. Because I would self-diagnose myself and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But it's also, she brought into perspective things that I could not see because of my ways.
And validated you, knowing that you're on the right track.
Yeah, every time I said, I know that's being negative, she's like, that's not being negative. And I was like, huh? So I had to relearn things. And so that's why it's good to have that other perspective. But I would highly recommend, and I say this in general, not just on the mental health side of things, always research your doctors, your therapists. You need to really pay attention who you're going to see. And you can go see someone and be like, I don't like it. And then go see someone else, but don't give up.
I gotta.
You have to keep fighting for yourself.
It's tricky because my mom just dealt with that because she's talking about how challenging my sister is.
Yeah.
And instead of giving her ways and methods to cope or ideas, she just said, well, maybe you should put her in a group home. And it's like, so just throw my sister away? That's your insight into it? It's just, hey, you're having a hard time, that's a big part of your PTSD and your struggle, so just remove her from the situation, everything will be better. So yes, you have to make sure, and if you are seeing someone and they are leading you down a path that either is going nowhere or you don't agree with, just remove yourself and find someone else.
Yes.
Which is easy for me to say because I don't see any of them, but this is my therapy session, so I'm good.
But I'm going to tell you what I have pushed back.
You've had a few, I know.
I had a psychologist tell me something, and I said, absolutely not. How could you say that? And they were like, I guess no one pushes back. And I was like, no, that is not an option. So your mom could, if she wanted to, she could say, that's not an option.
Because I told her, I was like, I said, I do not agree with anything she said, and you need to tell her that that is off the table, because that's going to set up a whole new set of depression, anxiety, because you threw it away, and now where's she at? What is she doing? Who's taking care of her?
That's going to create guilt for her.
Yes.
And that is not something you want.
She needs to be focusing on giving her the tools to handle and to change behavior, to say, okay, this is my reality. I can't change her because of her condition, so how do I change how it affects me?
She gave her one option.
Yes.
She could have had 3.
And she could have said, let me think on it, let me figure it out.
Here's some resources. But she just gave her 1. And that's not good.
Getting rid of her.
Yeah, and remember I told you it's the same with my mom, because my dad is in hospice, and they constantly push for her to put him in a day center or a home for a week so she could rest, and my mom was like, absolutely not. Yeah. Who's going to do all the things that I have to do for him? And we saw that with the hospitals. You know, my dad, when he was in the hospital, in the earlier stages of what he has, they didn't give 2 shits. That poor man was covered in food. They didn't give him anything to shower, or he doesn't have the ability to do that. His cognitive function has completely gone away, and they literally would just let him sit there in his own food filth, not taking a shower, and like no one would check up on him. That's how much they care about you. And this one said, just put her in a group home. Instead of saying like, okay, well maybe we can find you I don't know what they call them, but like a nurse that could come and you can go do something for 2 hours. Or just talk her
through understanding that she, like, because the big thing with her, because even I can see it, is for my mom, my mom needs to let go of the routines and let go of trying to hold on to control. If I'm the mom, you're the daughter, you do what I say, and realize that there's no daughter left in her, in terms of that she's just routine. She's just, and not saying she doesn't have any warmth or feelings, but she never shows it, but to say, okay, well, these are the areas in which, okay, if I take my structure and routine from this to over here, now it slides and clicks in with what she wants. Now I'm, quote, giving in, but I'm creating peace, because we're feeding her earlier. We're taking care of the things to appease her routine, yes, but now it takes the confrontation out of the routine and makes an easier path. And I'm sitting there thinking, I don't have a degree, I didn't waste my fucking money, and I can see that that's routine, but because I'm not a therapist, she won't listen to me. So
shame on the therapist, because there should have been more than one option. First of all, she only gave her one option, and as a therapist or someone who's studied psychology, you need to ask more probing questions. And apparently
she read my mom's book. She's got all the insight in the world. So
apparently she didn't ask enough probing questions, because you know what I would experience is they would give me solutions and be like, what are your thoughts on that? You know, that whole, how they, you know, like in movies they joke, and how does that make you feel? Those are literally asked because you have to understand the person in front of you. You have to understand what's their thought process. How do they really feel about this? What if she gave your mom that option?
I know.
Did she even ask her, what are your thoughts on that? Or how do you feel about that? Probably not, because your mom would have been like, no, I don't want to.
Again, it's about the agendas, because guess what agenda is in her profile.
Yeah, I know.
And that's more important.
And that I tell it to my mom all the time, because based off of the entire experience that we've had with my dad's decline in health and his illness, that is all they push for. And I literally have said, my mom has literally told him, like, you as hospice collect a shit ton of money from my insurance. I'm not putting him in a group home. I promised him when he was coherent, and he has always told us, do not put me in a nursing home. I would rather you end my life than this. And my mom's like, I will never do that to him. Yeah. And they just don't care because they want that paycheck. Yeah. They want that statistic. They want these numbers. And it's just like, that's really sad because you're in a field to help people and you're not. You're limited. Help them in a limited way. And that's sad. Bare minimum. And that goes along with how they're teaching in schools, too. So you go to university, you go to get a PhD, and you're, like, not even learning correctly.
They're not teaching you.
No.
They're teaching all the other stuff.
I know, yeah. I have a family member that's works in a hospital, and she had to do some training, and she was like, this is ridiculous. It's all that agenda stuff. Yeah, and she's like, this has nothing to do with what I have to do with people every day. And I was like, appeasing the 1% of the population.
Meanwhile, 79% of men are out there that won't get treatment because they don't want to get into a therapy session and having to call someone by these agenda things and then be told probably that they're... I'm trying not to get too, I don't want to get political with it, but...
but we know that seeps into everything.
Because I know someone that was in school and for something that wasn't even healthcare related, and he was saying, some of the classes they were making him take is I don't want to learn about this.
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't want... But they're forcing them into the curriculums now, and it's...
Interesting. I guess because they push for it so much.
Because they want everyone.
Because it's part of society.
That's why I say why I'm so torn with the new generations of, yes, they're going to be more in tune with their feelings, but it's not for the good reasons.
Yeah. And I have to say, I'm going to say this because this has been lingering for a week now, with just the interactions that we've had outside of work. Not only in work for me, and I'm sure for you too, but outside of work, just the world... I'm trying to say this in a very delicate way, but that's just not my style. That's why we've both been very delicate. That's why I cannot be a therapist, because I will make people cry, because I'm straightforward. Obviously, if I was a therapist, there's a different way to approach this. But me, I'm gonna tell you guys this: I am getting sick and tired of what I see on social media. I thought, a lot of times we see stuff on social media and we're like, we're like, oh my God, really, Yeah. But it's so bad that it's happening in real life, in everywhere you go. You go to a restaurant, you go to a con, a market, or whatever. I'm gonna say this, and this is the best advice I could give someone, maybe because of just who I am or how I was raised, where I grew up. I always joke around and say it with your chest. But I'm getting very sick and tired of everyone being so like, know your worth. How many times have I said that? Know your goddamn worth, okay? Stop seeking validation. No one is going to... I'm sorry, even people would say, you feel like you're being validated. No one cares, okay? No one cares. Be yourself. Seek help if you have identity issues. And when I say identity, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable with yourself, you need to build the confidence. I'm so tired of people not being confident. And I hate saying this because a lot of people, we see it in the comments. Yeah. We have a lot of haters. They talk about our size, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't give a fuck, because I am so comfortable in myself that I wish other people were like this. And I that's all I want to say. I don't even know how to articulate it sometimes. But I'm so sick and tired of people not being confident. Stop. I don't know what it is that's going on. Stop with the social media. Stop watching movies and idolizing them, because movies are movies, like fantasy movies, right? Dramas. Real life is not like that. And it's just, I'm just tired. It's in the workplace so much. This whole being dramatic. I say it's dramatic, but really it's people are so lost. They don't know who they are. They're afraid to express themselves. And when I say express themselves, I'm not talking about sexuality. I'm not talking about your kinks, okay? You need to understand, in society, you have to communicate with people. This whole social awkwardness is because of how you feel about yourself. And I'm just so fed up with it. Yeah. I'm getting tired that I can't go somewhere and order food because the server is so terrified to talk. And, like, how can you make a living if you're terrified of people and yourself? That's what I'm running into.
Oh, did that happen?
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere we're going, it's an issue. We have, the intern has coworkers. They're like, I mean, unfortunately she's asleep. I would have liked her to talk about this. We have people that aren't even non-binary or transgender that go by 2 names. And it's like, okay, it would be understandable. I mean, maybe I'm not being open-minded about this, but if your name is Alexandra and you're like, hey, I go by Alex, okay. But this person's name is Alexandra and they're like, call me Tim. No, my bad. Let me retract that. My name's Alexandra, call me Emily.
Okay.
So I'm like, is that like a childhood nickname?
Is it your middle name?
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with that.
They don't.
It's a persona.
I've seen a few of that because we are so conditioned to believe that we are not who we are told that we were, whether it's gender or name or sexuality, that we have at some point when we grow, either when we're teens or kids or we grow up, that we have to be something else. We have to change because I don't even know why, but the agendas and the propagandas and the nonstop bombardment of the algorithms, you're right, are making so many people not know who they are.
And I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give you the example. Fan Fusion. I was overwhelmed. I was very overwhelmed with not who was there. Again, I'm not making this about politics, sexuality. I could give 2 shits about your kinks, your sexuality, politics.
If it's who you are.
Right. I'm leaving that out of the equation. But what I saw was very sad. Grown men dressed as women, sad. Why are you sad if that's who you are? You are proud of this, right? So why do you look sad?
You get out in public dressed like that and you're walking around timid and...
Right. Yeah. And I don't understand that. And that might be my fault because I'm confident. I'm not saying that to be cocky, but because I'm so sure of myself that I can't understand someone who isn't. Unless I start digging, like, tell me about your childhood, and then I can try and piece them together and fix them, but that's not my job.
No.
But I bring this up because I was at Fan Fusion, and how many times did I tell you, Brian? I was like, what? I would get upset for them because I'm like, be who you are. I guess it ties into the month of June being proud, but, like, it's just, I don't get it. If you are so uncomfortable with yourself, based off of your personality, the way you look, do something about it. I've done this with friendships. Remember, I think I told you about that story. I had a really good friend. Yes. She couldn't get her fucking life together. Yeah. And is it her fault? I'm going to say yes. Because in my eyes, I've done it in my life. If I want to get better, if I want my life to be better, I'm going to take steps to make it better. Right. I'm going to seek help. I'm going to read. How can I do better financially? I constantly am looking for solutions. And I can't be around people like that. And so it was very overwhelming and very sad to see people who want to express who they are, but they don't know who they are. And it confused the shit out of me.
And are they expressing who they are or the agenda they believe in?
They're expressing... I'm going to leave agenda out. I don't want to make this political.
For them, though.
Yeah, but they're expressing what they think they saw on social media or what that celebrity does, and it's just, it's too much.
That's why I'm not seeing an agenda like I'm only, but like I said, I think a lot of times it's because it's so rampant now. I mean, you mean to tell me that this many people were confused?
Yeah.
For the first time in human history?
No,
they're not. It's a lot of times I don't think they're being necessarily who they truly feel they are.
No, because they would be happy.
They're being who they think they need to be, because again, it's that badge of honor of, look at me, I'm just going to use this as an example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because look at me, I'm a furry.
Yeah.
And not because I want to be, not necessarily because I even understand it, but look at me. I am this because this is whatever. I saw this, or somebody told me this, or so I saw an algorithm, or I saw something. And so look at me, I'm this. And it's almost like knowing that you're going to be marginalized or not, or even possibly made fun of or bullied, sometimes I think is the appeal of it.
Yeah,
sometimes
you're right.
I think that they want to be marginalized.
But it's like a sense of attention that they want, but they don't want, but they get an
being
attention.
Just who they are, that typical normal, like just t-shirt and jeans guy, you're lost in the crowd. If you're the furry with the thong and the tail, all eyes are going to be drifting to you no matter what. Even if they're judging or if they're admiring, or they're just saying, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You are now showered with attention.
Right.
Not because of who you are and you're being proud to be you.
I agree with that. And I surprisingly this year there was a less percentage of furries, which I thought was strange because last year there was a lot. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm paying attention to the shifts in different categories.
If it's organic and natural and that's who you are.
Yeah.
We've said that about when we talk all the trans talk. We talk about this is who you are. Be you. Yeah. We're just tired of I'm tired of seeing, a mom with her 3 kids in tow that are all under the age of 8 carrying around those flags, and it's like these kids don't know what that is.
I guess
that's them being proud for that because that's what you want them to portray. It's not because necessarily that's who they are.
That's what I saw. I saw boys. And when I say boys, I mean teens to 20s. I saw grown men, 30s to 50s, dressed in a way that, okay, if that makes you feel comfortable, by all means, work it, do it. But the look on their face, slumped shoulders, I was like, why are you doing this?
Always
if you're
looking
not
around,
happy?
like I noticed that they're always like looking around,
grouped together, and I was like, if you're not happy, then change it, like do something about it.
Like you and I walk through the concert area, we're being watching, but we're not like looking is this person looking at me? Is this person looking at me? Is this person looking at me? No. I'm like, don't look at me.
I'm like, dude,
look at me. Don't look at me.
No, honestly, like I don't know what it is. It really affected me because I was like, I can't. That energy, it bruised. There was a lot of that energy when I saw those 4 men standing there, and I was just like, I wanted to go up to them and be like, if you're not happy, change it. And not only that, I'm gonna say this, and I know I might get shit about it. One of the number one ways to tell someone's unhappy is hygiene. I don't want to say it because I just feel like I'm stepping on toes, or like I just don't want people to take it the wrong way, but like I see these people that identify a certain way, and they're just like, you can identify however you want, but like, I guess take pride in it. Like, take pride in yourself. You looking like you have dirt on your face, and like you haven't showered in 3 days, but you got the right color hair, the crew cut, you're carrying a certain flag. Be proud of that shit. But it's like they're like, they're so uncomfortable, and I hate seeing that because I'm like, why are you like this then? I'm trying to understand it, and I hate to see people like that because no one should feel like that. No one should feel like that. I remember all the times in high school of all the kids feeling a certain way, and the groups, you get separated like goths, jocks, all that stuff. Yeah. We are adults. This is not high school anymore.
Well, for us, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, life is better if you start taking care of yourself and like really take pride in yourself.
That's what pride matters.
And I know it may sound hypocritical because you'll be like, well, you're fucking fat, Vanessa. Yeah, I am fat, but I enjoy the fucking food I eat. Man. And I'm not talking about fast food. I fucking go eat lobster, steak, sushi. Okay? Like, I'm not eating here at McDonald's. I will never eat at McDonald's. But, like, Burger King, Wendy's, we go to Zips. Do you think we want to eat that food all the time? No, but we want to go see our friend. Yeah. So we make it work. But, and if
you're going to talk about me, make sure you mention the 22 pounds I'm down. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Be proud of that. But it's just like, that's why I'm so fed up with it. Because I think about my coworkers too, and I'm like, if your life is that fucking miserable, go look for another job. Go do something better. Move out. Do this. Do that. There's so many solutions.
You just have to work for them, and they don't want to work for them.
If you want to get it done, get it done.
I told you that was my issue with my coworkers. There's.
You're right.
They want a complete change, but they won't work for it.
They just want to complain.
Yeah. And I've gone back these last few days after my 10 days off, and I'm trying the last few days to be more positive.
Yeah.
Like today I the conversation was trying to be drawn into the dynamics of someone and their behavior and their style of dress, and I was like, redirected. It's like, oh yeah, and then hey, have you played this game? You know, I don't, because you're right. This is a subtle little thing, because you're right. If you're not happy,
I'm not saying it to be right. No, I've observed this.
No, but I'm just saying it is correct. Yeah. I won't say you then. It is correct.
No, I want the people to know I'm not like...
If you're not happy, like, I'm not happy in my work environment.
Yeah.
So I need to make a change. I need to change, in the one way maybe I can change is to have more of a positive energy and vibe to where we don't let those conversations descend into a nonstop bitch fest for 6 hours. You know, because that's how easy it is, because...
It is, it is.
People seem to have more... They seem to enjoy the bad more than they enjoy anything good. Mm-hmm. Like having something wrong or having something bad happen to you makes you feel more alive than something that you could share that's positive or happy, which is so weird. And it's like, you're right, if you're not happy in who you are, don't feel like you have to be something to be accepted, because sometimes I think with these people at Pan Fusion that somebody in their friend group has done this, and so it just trickles into everybody, because now they all have to pick some sort of obscure 1% view of the world and become that to be accepted.
You're allowed to be yourself.
Because in those circles, like I said, they're least accepting of anybody. So in the circles like the furry world, are they going to be accepting of someone in their circle is just some random dude who wears jeans and a t-shirt?
That's true.
Maybe not, and isn't even into anime. Would they still be allowed to be in the friend circle? Maybe not, especially if it's a guy. They may be like, well, we don't really we want to hang out with more of our like-minded people. So,
oh, I totally get that.
So there's total pressure to stay wherever your friend group leads you.
Yeah, I totally get that, and that's where you pick and choose your people, because.
And at that young age, they don't feel like there's any choice but to stay.
and I find that, see, that for me is hard, because when I was in my 20s, I picked and choose. Yeah. And when someone pissed me off, I'm like, you're done. Yeah. But. Like you said, anime, I know nothing about anime. I've learned because I have friends who are into anime, but I still go to. They invite me to the activities, and I still go.
You go to a con. You went to that con.
Yeah, I went to Universal Fan Fest, and it was about One Piece. I have never seen One Piece, but wasn't Michaela? She was in One Piece. What did I do? I just Googled, and I looked at her video. I watched her videos. I looked her up. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to be, I put quote, socially accepted, don't just sit there and be sad. Do some Google, learn something, watch YouTube videos. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm a really, like, I sound really angry, but I'm just trying to provide solutions, because I did not like what I saw. And I mean, yeah, maybe people enjoy being like that, but it was really sad to see when I'm like, we live in a society where everyone and everything is accepted, and we have sad people. Why is that?
The more accepting we are, the less happy they are.
The less happy they are. And so I don't give two shits if you're a man who likes to wear women's clothing. Okay, work it. But don't... Do
it for you.
Do it for you. Exactly. Do it for you, and because you want to and you like it.
Don't do it because you see it around you and you're like, well...
Again, I guess I have to do it,
and
too.
And again, it's that wanting to... Again, everybody thinks they're so unique and they want to be marginalized, and I don't know why. I don't know why that's so... That's why with the things we go to, when I see the flags or we see the... Yeah. It's like, no, don't be that. Don't think that makes you better, more acceptable, or you'll be loved more by the community. Mm-hmm. Be you. Yeah. And don't worry about that other bullshit.
I saw there was a person that said they were going to be dressed up as Hogwarts for they were attending Pride, and they were
Hogwarts,
like,
so
we're
dressed up as a school.
Like Harry Potter. Okay. Sorry, I'm not into Harry Potter. I just
Hogwarts is a school.
Yeah, yeah, but I said it because they're going to be wearing the school uniform. Yeah. So they were like, we're going to start shit at Pride. And I was like, why? Because you like Harry Potter? And they're like, well, because of J.K. Rowling. Who fucking cares? You're telling me, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if you have people that give you shit about that, don't be friends with them. Yep. You're allowed to like what you like as long as you're not hurting anyone and pushing people to understand you. I mean, we know what's right and wrong. I hate saying that because people are going to be like, oh, well, then I could do this. And like, you're doing shit to kids or, like, people. Just stop. I'm talking about, you know what's right and wrong. But, like, if you like Harry Potter and you're gay and people are giving you shit about it, guess what? Fuck them.
Yep.
Okay, like, who cares?
Yeah, stop looking for validation.
Yeah.
Stop making their...
Like what you like.
Stop. Yeah, it's just be who you are.
Yeah.
Stop worrying. Like, yeah, just I don't know.
I have to say that because we're talking about mental health, men's mental health awareness, and then this plays into mental health because, again, we live in a society that everything's accepted, everyone's inclusive, but not really.
No one's inclusive.
You know, and when...
Well, a lot of people aren't.
Perfect example, when we wanted to take a photo of the three of us. Remember? Did you see me kind of go around in a half circle because I looked at people and they saw me and they like looked away.
Yeah.
And I observed them and I was like, can't talk to you because you are uncomfortable with yourself. You look like haven't bathed in days. And it's just like, I hate saying like that, but I knew who to ask and who not to ask. Yeah. And those people, I'm like, why are you here if you're so uncomfortable with yourself? The one thing I want to say before I forget, there was a cosplayer from Airbender. I've never seen the movie. I know what it is. There was someone dressed up as a character from Airbender holding this stuffed animal that goes along with the character. The stuffed animal was holding a trans flag.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care that it was holding a trans flag. I really don't give a fuck. But this person was like this. Scared. And I was like, why are you scared? I wanted to go up to them and be like, be proud. What are you scared of? Everyone here is loving this. Like,
my thing is, it was that little flag that's sitting there that doesn't represent the last Airbender at all. Was that your idea?
Right. But it's if you want to display that, why are you hiding? How many flags did we see? How many of I put in quotes because I hate being categorized. Categories did we see? Different categories did we see? And everyone's like, no.
No one's actually proud. They're just playing. They're flying the flag and playing the game.
I was so upset. I wanted to tell, and it was a teen or like a young 20-year-old, and I want to be like, stand up straight, fix your posture. You're proud. Like, go be your Airbender character, and if you have the fucking flag, have the flag.
And I would have been like, that character's not. So why are you?
Yeah. I don't know if they want to do it. That's fine. I don't care. But at the same time,
like I said, just when it doesn't make sense and it doesn't connect, that's when I don't like it. It's like we've said.
It's almost like they're forcing it on themselves, and I'm like, why?
They feel like they have to because if not,
be yourself.
Yeah,
be happy.
They feel that's the only way to be.
Why are you shy?
Their idea of being a good person is just latching on to. The marginalized people because it, you know, and it's like, again, if that's who you are, I agree.
Yes.
Do it loud, do it proud, and wear some clothes. But
I agree.
Because I still don't understand why the trans movement means naked, but
it doesn't. But these sickos make it like that. Yeah. So, I'm gonna say sickos.
But it's a good full view of the mental health side of it. Yeah.
It is, and I always remember that Pride episode in the L Word. Where the older lady was like, you mean, it's not pride, you mean shame. Because it is. Everyone, you could tell, I felt and saw shame, not pride. And it's like, and that Fan Fusion is not a pride festival, but like, if you are a cosplayer, if you are showing up as a vendor, you're showing up as, you know, just going to get an autograph or just showing up for the Fan Fusion Con, why are you there if you're sad?
And I understand to a point real quick because you're more outgoing and confident. I am more internalized. I do understand that there is some of it could be just they are shy and the social. I saw it in one of the lines I was in for Alexander Ward, who was in the Salem's Lot, but he was Critical Role, and the two girls in front of me, they were probably 11, 12.
Yeah. And
actually, I was really surprised because they were both, fully clothed, which was nice. But because she was there and her friend, I think she's probably older, but she was like, the girl was like freaking out when he got up there and the line's moving, like, I don't know what to do. My heart's beating. I feel like I have anxiety. I feel like I'm going to attack. And the girl's like, no, you can do this. I believe in you.
Yeah.
You're strong. She goes, he's just a guy. He's just a person, just like us.
Yeah.
So just go up there and say. So I understand because I watched her progression to the front. I watched her like look and point at the picture, and then when she got to her next, her friend was like, "You got this. You got this. Have fun." And then she walked away, and I watched the girl interact, and you could just see that it took a moment. He was so good with everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of got on his hands on their level, at the table.
That's good.
And she kind of lit up and opened up for a moment and had that moment that was so nice. And then when she turned around, she was like, "Oh yeah." So I understand that there is a lot of just natural social anxiety. And again, I blame the detachment of the fact that we're with the video games and the chat rooms and the lobbies and everything. We're not getting that full social media, and then COVID, the shutdown for the remote learning, where you lost school structure. So to me, there's a point in which, yes, but then again, here's this girl's obvious social anxiety, and her friend helped her have that moment that she's probably going to carry through. Every time she's going to look at that signed picture, because she didn't get a photo, she got a signed picture, she's going to love that moment. Right. And hopefully it'll carry through any dark moments or times, which is the beauty part of the con.
Right, yes.
To help you get, a good memory and a good moment. But you are very good and perceptive, and so am I, to seeing that we can tell when it's just someone when it's someone that's just like, well, taking a picture, like, I don't want to deal with that. Yeah. And someone like these people, some of these in costume, they're like, I really don't know if I should be here doing this.
Yeah. And it's sad to see. It really, it almost like broke my heart. But then that fiery side of me is like, Buttercup, let's get it going. What do you need to make your life better? Yeah. So I hope I portrayed that correctly. I've been holding on to it since Fan Fusion.
Well, you feel how you feel, like we just said, and you're allowed to. And if anybody else doesn't like it because they don't necessarily understand or agree with every aspect, that's on them.
Yeah, and honestly, again, I'm just giving solutions, but maybe if we took 5 minutes 3 times a day to go out in the sun, that would probably help everyone's mental health a little bit too.
Yeah, because what should they do?
Go outside, get some sun, and touch grass. Okay, bye!